Oh, what is that? What is the, oh. Okay, that wasn't planned. This is probably gonna be a very pointless video for a lot of you, but one of the reasons why I run this YouTube channel is so that way I can teach as many people as possible. I know that there's a lot of people in the world that really wanna get into cars, but they don't know how to get started. They don't even know how to change their own oil. I'm not gonna be showing you how to change your own oil, but I am gonna be changing my oil while I'm talking about this. I wanna talk about the miles that you go on each oil change. Now, I run full synthetic. I know that a lot of the times whenever you run full synthetic, you're gonna be running probably 7,000, 10,000 miles. Or like, that's what's guaranteed. Everybody says you can go at least 7,000 to 10,000 miles on a synthetic oil change, but I don't agree with that. By the way, I run Amsoil in my car. I really believe that you pay for what you get, especially whenever it comes to parts like this. Amsoil. On a ball bearing test, this has the least amount of wear compared to any other shelf ball. Actually, you can't even buy Amsoil on the shelf. Either order it online or go to a special place to get it. But compared to like Royal Purple, that's another really popular one. Amsoil performs much better than Royal Purple in comparison to a friction wear test. So that's gonna be all the bearings in your engine. Overall, this is going to prolong the lifespan of your engine. But where was I at? People say you can change your oil every 7,000 to 10,000 miles, but I don't agree with that. I actually change my oil about 1,500 to 2,000 miles in this car. Now, of course, this car is still street legal. Most of the times that I drive this car is on weekends or when I'm going to autocross or when I'm racing, blah, blah, anything like that. Usually this car is dedicated to like spirited driving or very hard, intense driving like autocross. Now, it's not a track dedicated car yet. I mean, it's a track dedicated build, but it's actually, I haven't taken it to a track day yet. At that point, probably whenever I get it on tracks and I'm consistently running it there, it's gonna be getting an oil change probably every 200 or 300 miles. Maybe, if that. The reason I don't go the recommended amount of miles on my oil, let me show you. Hang on, come on. Oh, the DE problems. Of course, I just dropped oil on my headlight. If you see this oil, it's pretty dark. Like, it's not black, but it's pretty dark. Of course, this oil is not old. I think this oil has probably 2,200, 2,400 miles on it, ish. Kind of, sort of. Oil does not naturally burn. Oil, it takes a lot for oil to burn, as in like you have to throw it directly into a fire. But in most engines, that's not happening unless your rings are bad or other reasons. Oil burns at the point that it becomes so dirty that it is contaminated, or that it is so old and reheated so many times to where it is becoming burnt. I'm gonna go ahead and start the car to let it warm up so that way I can get the oil up to a good temperature to flow out. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, it's cold outside. Alright, but now, like I mentioned before, there's a lot of things that you can do to make your engine last longer. I have 167,000 miles on this engine. At least, that's what I know of. I think this is the original engine in the car, but I have no way of telling because I bought the car with 140,000 miles, so I've driven it a good bit. One thing that you can do to make it last as long as possible is do not buy cheap oil. Amsoil is averaging probably $17 to $20 a quart. Like on my daily, I saw a deal at Walmart where I could buy 5 quarts of Pennzoil for $20. Now that's a good deal for me and my daily because I still change the oil in both of my cars fairly early. I know that I'm putting a lot cheaper oil in my daily, which my daily actually is a G35 sedan. It's got the HR, whereas this car has a DE. So my daily actually has the nicer engine. I change my oil early in both cars. My daily, I change it early. I usually go like 4,000 to 5,000 miles on that one, and I drive it very easy. That car never goes over 3,000 RPMs. This one is hitting the rev limiter a lot. So there are two different reasons. That one, I could go about 10,000 miles, but I don't want to. I changed it about every 4,000. This one, I could go, Amsoil, hang on, let me see. Guaranteed protection for up to 25,000 miles. I am not driving 25,000 miles on one oil change. That's not happening. No way in hell am I ever driving any car that long on one oil change. I don't care how much oil is in it. I'm not doing it. But I changed that one early because I use cheaper oil. Cheaper oil is going to break down easier after it gets heated so many times. It's kind of like bending metal. You bend metal back and forth so many times. Yeah, it's going to be strong, but eventually it gets weak and it breaks apart or it tears. It's natural wear on anything. So whenever they say go about 10,000, 7,000 miles on a car, that is with daily driving. That's driving habits that are expected over that long period of time. But with this car, I could go 7,000 miles easily if I drove it as a daily driver, but I don't drive this as a daily driver. If you see my other videos, I beat the shit out of it. The reason it gets an oil change every 2,000 miles is because imagine you were to drive 10,000 miles at 2,000 or 3,000 RPMs, okay? So the entire lifespan of that oil change is going to be spent at that low RPM the whole way. Now imagine you double or triple that RPM, you're going to be changing the oil much earlier. That is a very basic explanation of why I change my oil early. Now, I also don't want to spin a bearing or blow this shit up because I care about this car a lot. I don't want to have to put a new engine into it. I would much rather put an engine in this car at the time that I feel necessary instead of being forced to put an engine in this and then postponing everything else I want to do to the car. I put cheap oil in that car, drive it easy, change it every 4,000 to 5,000 miles. Put expensive oil in this car, drive it hard as shit, like I beat the dog piss out of it, and then I change it every 1,500 to 2,000 miles. That's not because one engine is older than the other. My daily actually has 176,000 miles, I think. And then this car has 167. It's not even 170,000 yet. One engine being older than the other is absolutely no excuse. They're both in pretty good shape. Neither of them burn oil, at least not more than they should. They both run pretty well. You can see how I drive this car. I like to say it runs well. I accidentally did. Oh, hey, that's a nice little 4-point chassis brace. Also, I forgot I had that on the car. If you haven't seen yet, go check out my last video. I installed a bunch of soul function parts. I put the harnesses in, harness bar. Then I also got that nice little teal piece right there. It's a little show piece. I know it's underneath the car, but I promise it's just for show, which that's 100% a lie because that has actually improved the quality. Okay, actually, no, not quality. That has improved how the car handles tremendously. What that chassis brace does is it keeps your frame from twisting. Chassis, frame, same difference. It's going to keep the body of your car from twisting during hard cornering. It makes your ride a little bit stiffer. I noticed that instantly. Like, you're gonna feel everything. Because if you get a chassis brace, you're not gonna have as much give in the body of your car. So if you hit a bump, the whole like corner of the car is gonna come up and then it's gonna move with the suspension. But then chassis bracing is supposed to eliminate that. So if you hit a bump, this side of the corner is gonna stay solid, and instead of having some give, it's gonna just turn the whole entire car sideways. So you're gonna feel a lot more on the road. You're gonna feel every like rock, every bump, every crack. And then you go through corners and it actually lets your suspension do the work that it's made to do. One of the reasons why chassis bracing is going to be so good as well is because it eliminates any unpredictable flex in your body. And then also as the car gets old and you drive it like that more, the body is going to be weaker. Like I said earlier, it's like bending a piece of metal so many times, eventually it's going to break. Same thing with the body of your car and the frame. Eventually it's going to wear down over time and you're going to have some natural flex in the car. Or the flex in the frame is going to increase periodically. 10 out of 10, highly recommend 4-point chassis brace. Soul Functions is great because it's aluminum. I think the whole thing weighs like 2 pounds. Super sturdy. Car is now super responsive with steering. I mean, usually if you go down the highway, barely move the wheel left and right, you'll feel the whole entire car just rocking side to side. Whenever you put that chassis brace on, it goes away. It's amazing. It's probably the best thing I've put on my car, which sounds ridiculous considering I have a giant carbon fiber wing on the back and bash bar wide wheels and tires and all that other stuff. But really, the change in how the car performs with that chassis brace outdoes everything else on the car. It's nuts. I'm talking a lot. I'm getting out of breath. And then also, wait, I have a drain plug I gotta go get in a second. Waiting for it to come out. I don't even know if I have a crush washer on this, but oh shit, that was close. Ready? Boom. Oh, that oil's dirty. All right. Oh, this is hot too. Ha. That's the first time I had one of these cold. Mountain Lightning, not Mountain Dew, Mountain Lightning. It tastes just like a green popsicle. All right, but I went and got my magnetic drain plug right here. This little silver piece is a big magnet, and then the rest of it is just a normal drain plug. So that has pretty much stopped dripping. I'm gonna go ahead and change the oil filter. I have a oil filter tool unscrew thingy. It's probably not in here. Yep, it is in here. Hey, so we got this thing. By the way, these little things to get your oil filter off, they suck. Don't get them. Get the big giant pliers that you can to crush that bitch. I might be able to just get it off with my hands. Nope. Okay, here we go. I mean, I guess they work. It's just the fact it feels so cheap, but it hasn't broken on me yet. This is gonna be my second oil change with it. It's just such a pain in the ass. Oh my God. Okay, now I should be able to get it with my hands. So this is a Mobil 1 oil filter. I know I'm not a big fan of Mobil 1's oil, but they have decent oil filters. At least that's what I've heard. But I'm swapping both of my cars over to a K&N oil filter because it's like an extra $1. And I know K&N is a very reputable brand. We're gonna let that drain out for a little bit. You can tell that the oil is still like in good shape because the oil itself is not black. You can clearly see that there is like some debris, some dirt. The oil's dirty, okay? That's the best way that I can describe it. That's what's gonna really just hurt your engine too over time, is having dirty oil, because all those particles are gonna get on the bearings, they're gonna wear them down faster. You wanna have decent, clean oil as much as possible. Just monitor your oil, check it every once in a while, see how dirty it is. I don't even go off the miles of my oil. Now the oil is done dripping. We will go ahead and put the oil filter on, and after that go ahead and put this new drain plug in. Well, all right then, we're just gonna go ahead and, oh my God, this bitch is sticking to everything. I was told this would happen. This is gonna be more difficult than I expected. So, nice new pretty drain plug, nice new pretty oil filter. Let's wipe this up so it doesn't sling everywhere. This drain plug, we will just throw that thing away. I am going to dispose of this properly at work, not by putting it in a milk jug like most people and throwing it in the dumpster. I'm not that kind of person. Now, like I said before, I run Amsoil Signature Series in my 350. It's probably about $17-ish, 16, 15, 17, something like that. All right, we have poured in 5 quarts so far, and I got the car back on the ground, so we're gonna go ahead and let it run for a second, get that oil moving through, get all the air out the system, and then we will go ahead and start checking the oil, see how much more we gotta add. There we go. Oh man. Now I know on the DEs, the dipstick is retarded, so you gotta pull it out and wipe it 2 or 3 times before you actually can check the oil. I don't know why it's like this, but it is. Let's see, where is it at? Oh. Right where it should be, actually. 5 quarts is perfect. So if you guys enjoy the video or you learned something, please go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to do some more stuff. I want to teach everybody. I want to teach everybody like all the most useless information you'll ever need in your life. This hopefully is useful to you, because of course we all want to have running cars in the future. Anyways, leave a like for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.